And then women have it too. You guys just do it with, hey, that's the guy on the Harley that I like to have sex with, and here's my nice husband who's really nice and takes care of it. It's the same schism, and we need to not blame the other sex. It's become fashionable lately to make the men out to be stupid in every sitcom and the Oprah and all that. And that's unbalanced too. It takes two to tango. We're both schizoid about it, and as above, so below. That if you notice, you have 3 chakras above your heart and 3 below. The pivotal gateway is the heart, and opening your heart. But that gets uncomfortable. But keeping sex in the basement, sort of on the other side of town, and I acted out. And in some Italian cultures, it was like just accepted. Well, the men are just like that. You just got to let them have mistresses, and that's just very, very, very unconscious. But women have to get real with it too. We both have to get real with it. So it is a reflection of our collective that the whole sex trade thing is going to go away, in the sense that it's just going to be okay. Things will be natural and normal as we heal this. The best way we can heal this is to heal ourselves about it. And you're going to have some upheavals, upheavening, that word, upheavening. All hell and all heaven will break loose inside your body, inside your psyche, when you start doing this. Because we've lived in a fallen, disconnected state. We have had a separation of the 3 above chakras from the 3 below chakras. So when you start opening your heart and say, I want my sex mixed with God or spirit now, you're going to have stuff start happening in your life. And that is what will make all that go away. Of course. That whole thing about, yeah.
Well, hold that thought there, Tobias. And Brighton, if you hang on the line, we'll hold you up till after the break here. We're going to take a short break. We're talking about sex and love with Tobias Lars. CourseOfAwakening.com. Stay tuned. Truth Brigade Radio. Welcome back. You're listening to Truth Brigade on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And this is the last segment with our special guest tonight, Tobias Lars. And just because we're done talking about it doesn't mean you have to completely remove sex and love from your life. Think about all of these very, very valid points we've talked about tonight and see what you can do to heal. Brighton is still on the line, so Tobias, if you would, please continue.
Brighton, refresh me or ask me something else or bring
Well, I guess just after spending so much time in LA that I got a really first-hand experience with that lifestyle, the sex industry, to be more specific. And I just see no problem with it. I personally feel that when the government gets involved with anything, that's where the problem starts. But that, there are people on this planet that are specifically here to be sexual healers. Right. And so often I see and have experienced the judgment from being closed-minded, and that seems to be where the true pain and problems come in. Instead of looking inside oneself and embrace the sexuality, it's easier to blame a certain cross-section, like, if those people didn't exist, then everything would be fine. When really the truth is that they are sexual healers and that they've been thwarted. Right. And then I think there are some people that are truly born and sold into it, and that's where you have the misogyny and the sadomasochistic behavior and dungeon-like behavior. And it's not that there's a safe word, because it's not play. It's truly that mentality.
Exactly.
And
yeah. No, I agree. And I'm gonna. This is such a huge topic that most of us avoid, or we have, or some people have avoided it. But yeah, and some bikinis, the role of bikinis or sexual surrogates or healers or the temple goddesses before there was patriarchy, before the Levites, one of the tribes of Israel in Mesopotamia, there was sexual temples where every woman would serve time as a sexual goddess, meaning the men would come to her and she would have multiple partners, and she was taking the form of the goddess. That is a remnant of that is in existence. Now, that doesn't mean, and so with innocence, meaning if you present that energy, I am sexually wide open, that will trigger people who have their own sexual issues, big time. And so that's a natural, just like the innocence will really trigger non-innocence or whatever, darkness, you know. But I was also cautioned, just because you're into Tantra and this kind of sexual surrogate stuff doesn't mean that you're totally clean, because I've seen a lot of sex workers that feel they're totally clean on it, and they're actually not personally totally clean on it. They're working it out themselves. And a lot of the Tantra workshops out there, there's some creepy energies floating around that are being denied. I'm just being honest. There's real Tantra, you know, where the heart and innocence and play, if it's not childlike and innocent in a sense, even while it's raucous, you know, I almost said the F word there, even though it's raucous sex, you know, or full-on lust, but you have to have the innocence and real, what I call real God, meaning the real sacredness to it. And that can often be said that's happening, but there can be some creepy energetic entities that come in there that are really just feeding off of other beings. And you have to learn to discern the difference. So in the sex industry, there's a lot of people working out their own stuff, and then there's a few people that, this is my experience, my opinion, that are truly vehicles and channels for true sexual healing.
I would agree with that. With looking at the women that I'm talking about, I would say that a majority of them are working out something in their own energy plane, and then there are some that are truly sex workers. I would completely agree with that. Thank you for your time, Tobias. It's always nice to hear you. I really enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for calling in, Brighton. Well, we have about 2 minutes left, Tobias, so there's so many facets of this topic, but is there anything that we didn't cover tonight that you feel is of importance?
Absolutely. We need about another year or maybe 5 years of this. But no, I wanted to say at the end here that original sin, original innocence, we are innocent beings. And when all this gets overwhelming, say to your own spirit, to God, you know, I want healing with this. Be natural. Your natural attraction, when your sexual attraction arises, comes up, you know, be natural with that. Try to follow it. Watch yourself. Be open with it. Find someone you can play with that way, you know. Be honest with it. God made sex. Goddess made sex. God loves sex. I love sex. We all love sex. We all love ice cream. We all scream for sex. We all scream for sex and ice cream. This is true. And we all call out, oh, God. I mean, most of us do naturally. So God is in your sex. As you orgasm, many of us spontaneously just say, God. What is that about? There's a hint right there. What, do atheists call out, mathematical formulas during orgasm?
They say, oh, God, too.
Yes, they do. So God loves us. We are love. I am free. I love sex. We all love sex. God loves sex. God made sex. Let's start getting healthy with this. Let's bring God into our sex. Let's recover. We will start reclaiming all the dark dungeons when we open back up to this. God loves sex.
Oh, very, very good, Tobias. Thank you so much. You know, I'm thinking we should do a part 2 on this topic, but after we take a cold shower or something next week. Well, we'll definitely do this. If you would like to delve into this topic further, just let me know on the text chat. Tobias, I love you. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here tonight. Go, smile, love, have sex, have fun. It's the weekend. What the heck? We're not going to judge you, but we're going to be. Yes, I'm having a weekend. I have a personal thing Friday, Monday, so replays Robert Duncan and Beverly Eekman. I will be back Tuesday with Dr. Larry Babcock. Thank you. I love you. Hope to see you then.